I wish we could change the job title of sales manager. I think it misleads a lot of people in that role in terms of what it is that their real job is. I find a lot of sales managers think their job is to manage the number, manage to quota. And the problem with that kind of strategy is that there really isn't any way to course correct during the month if you're just managing to the number. I think a great sales manager should really be a sales coach, not a trainer, a coach. And so I'm constantly saying to sales managers, what you should be managing to is not the number, but the behaviors that get you to the number. So what does a great sales coach look like? Well, first of all, they have a cadence of coaching. They're coaching on a regular basis. The most high-performing sales managers are coaching more than once a week. So they're stepping in on a regular basis with their salespeople in a timing that their salespeople can expect. This is not that kind of typical fly-in at the end of a deal when pricing is a big issue and trying to save the day or save your salesperson. The sales manager is coaching on a regular basis. That's the when. What are they coaching? Okay, so I just said, not pricing. That's not when you fly in. A great coach is starting at the beginning of the sales process. So if you don't have a great sales process, it's likely that you don't have much to coach to. So good sales process is really one of the first things. But a good manager is coaching to the process. They're looking at the very beginning, at the discovery phase. Has the salesperson done everything that they need to do in that phase? Have they garnered all of the information that they need to get? Have they gotten from the customer the commitments that they need to get from the customer to move to the next phase? If they haven't, there's a coaching opportunity. So coaching to the process is one thing. Coaching to strategy is another thing. How are we going to go after this business? What's the right kind of business for us to go after? Who's the right kind of customer for us to get? Coaching to the opportunity is the third. Giving specific coaching throughout an opportunity that you're working on. So that's the what. What do you coach? How do you coach? If you're my age or older, maybe a little bit younger, you were taught about feedback. Managers always gave you feedback. I don't think feedback is that helpful because it's too much about here's what you did wrong. Marshall Goldsmith, the great executive coach, has a term that I love called feed forward. So we're looking at what can we do now? What can we do in the future to solve the problem, to learn from what we're doing now? But a great coach is doing less telling and asking more questions and doing really intentional listening. Oh my God, sounds like a salesperson. Sounds like a great salesperson, doesn't it? A good coach is not telling. A good coach is understanding the strengths of their salesperson and helping their salesperson play to their strengths. If you haven't taken the time to get to know your salesperson, you probably can't do this very well, right? But a good coach is more about asking questions, more about helping the salesperson to self-realize some of these best practices. And when you do that way, the learning sticks. Now, who should you coach? I was with a client recently who we did a diagnostic for them. And the diagnostic came back and said they don't coach well, they don't motivate well, they don't hold people accountable. And I asked them why. Why don't you coach? You got 3 really great sales managers here. Why are you not spending any time coaching your salespeople? And they said, we have a very senior, very tenured sales organization. We don't think they need or want coaching from us. Well, the diagnostic said exactly the opposite, that those salespeople were dying to get coaching from their sales manager. Don't be fooled into thinking your high performers don't need or want you involved in what they're doing and they don't want coaching. It's likely that they want a different kind of coaching, a different level of coaching than the more junior people in your sales organization. But even your high performers want coaching. So are you a manager or are you a coach? I can tell you statistically that if you're a coach, you're more likely to be hitting your numbers, you're more likely to have a high-performing sales organization, and you're more likely to have your job longer than that really sad statistic of 18 months that most sales managers are in their job. So if you want to stick around for a period of time, I'd say get intentional about being a people developer and less worried about being a manager of tactics and of numbers.